Hey everybody, and welcome to part 30 of this Platinum Let's Play. On the last episode we went through the Distortion World and took on Cyrus for the final time. On this episode I think we're going to be taking on Giratina. Now if you've got a Star Raptor, this is where Double Team comes in. I was going to plan to use Sleep Powder against it, but I don't think I'm going to bother. Just because Roadhouse is going to be doing the bulk of this fight. Just because he's really good at it. If you have that double team, it's a fantastic move. Really, it really is. I'm not joking. Okay, so let us go across these little pillars here, and Giratina will come flying down. The music will change, I think. Giratina is quietly eyeing Sean. This is the time to save. If you want to save, you can save right here. Do keep in mind though that if you defeat Giratina, you will be able to find it again at the same place you found it in Diamond and Pearl, which is in the Turnback Cave, which is east of, it's southeast of Veilstone City. But anyway, once you're all prepared, let's fight it. The big bad legendary of Pokémon Platinum, Giratina. Well, there should be a nice entrance to the fight there, but whatever. The Distortions World, Giratina appeared. So it's at level 47, the same level of Dialga and Palkia. Do keep in mind though that when you're fighting Dialga and Palkia, you must not seriously use Seriously, do not use your Master Ball against it. It is so easy to catch. It's got 10 times the catch rate of regular legendaries like Giratina here. I think I'm just going to keep stocking up on double teams, just because why not? I think I'm going to only stick up 2 though. But the idea is that this Giratina has the moves Dragon Claw, Ominous Wind, Ancient Power, and its signature move Shadow Force. Now what Shadow Force does is essentially like Fly. However, if the Giratina uses it, regardless of whether you use Protect, it will hit through you. The idea between Double Team is that Roadhouse is immune to both Shadow Force and Ominous Wind. So the idea is that if you use Double Team when it uses Shadow Force, you can start to keep avoiding its attacks, particularly Ancient Power. So here's Shadow Force. Also, you cannot use a Pokeball while it is using Shadow Force, which is the main reason for using Double Team. So that's a nice idea. Unfortunately, I really hope it doesn't use Shadow. Yeah, that's annoying. It does only have 5 uses of Shadow Force. It also only has 5 uses of Ominous Wind and Ancient Power, so do keep that in mind. Has 15 uses of Dragon Claw, of course. So do be very careful that this thing doesn't completely run out of PP and start using Struggle, because it's actually quite likely to happen. I've got to say, stupid Shadow Force. I think I'm just going to use another Double Team quickly. I really don't want Ancient Power hitting me. Okay, well it used Ominous Wind, that's an upside. Okay, so essentially to a Star Raptor, or any normal flying type that has Double Team, the only really move that it can use against you is well, Dragon Claw, which isn't particularly powerful, and also Ancient Power. Do be wary of Ancient Power, because both Ancient Power and I can't really damage it anymore. Both Ancient Power and Ominous Wind have a 10% chance of raising all of its stats, excluding evasion and accuracy. But once you've got it into the red zone, it's time to catch it, of course. Okay, so essentially what's happened is Giratina is now in its origin form. This is the form that is signature to Pokémon Platinum. It is unobtainable in Diamond and Pearl. Now what's different about the origin form is that Giratina will be holding its Grisius orb, which is the orb that's basically for Giratina. Like Dialga's Adamant orb and Palkia's Lustrous orb, Giratina has the Grisius orb, which will turn it into its origin form. Origin form Giratina has essentially the same stats as regular form Giratina, however its defences and offences are switched. So it has base 120 for both offences and base 100 for both defences, whereas alternate form is the opposite. But it's generally quite a good Pokemon. If you're not going to use it, it's quite a good Pokemon to take into the Elite Four if you don't have a full team, just because it can take some hits and buy you some time. However, you will not be able to have it in its origin form until the after game. This is because the Grisius orb is not obtainable until that point. So yeah, do keep that in mind, as you will not be able to get origin form. Although even in alternate form it's still a good Pokemon, learns good moves. Shadow Force isn't a particularly good move for it, but it's okay, I guess. It's very powerful though, 140 power, but those PP issues really eat into it. So do what you will with it. I mean, it's a good Pokemon, it's definitely worth using, and it's very defensive, particularly in alternate form. In origin form it's not so much, but its moves will be very powerful as both alternate form and in origin form. But anyway, in Platinum you'll basically want to be using Dust Balls. They have a 3.5 times the regular catch rate. This is not good. Ancient Power. I hope this doesn't take me out. Oh, shite. Okay, well this gives me an opening really, because now, although actually I've just suddenly realised, it doesn't matter. So I think I'll send out Hopper. All of its moves are now going to be hitting me, but Hopper can take all of them, so... If you don't have a Staraptor, I was going on about Staraptor for like half the video, a Steel type is generally a good option. It resists all of their moves, so it's a good option. Although, again, do be careful with that Ancient Power and Ominous Wind raising its stats. Although if you're using a Steel type it won't be such of a big issue. But yeah. Empoleon is probably the best Steel type you could be using against this thing, because it can tank all of the hits. There aren't many Steel types that can tank hits on both the physical side and the special side. Sizzle does quite a good job, however it has to be quite wary of Ancient Power. As well as Bastiodon. Bastiodon does very well. Bronzong. Bronzong's another good option, but after a while you will catch it. If you didn't bother trying to catch it, you can always just let it go and catch it at the Turnback Cave. It was banished for its... Oh, Giratina, the Renegade Pokemon. Ghost Dragon type. Unique type. 22'8" and 1,433 pounds. It was banished for its violence. It silently gazed upon the old world from the distortion world. So do remember, it's not going to be in its origin form when you go get it. Giratina seems to have understood us. That Pokemon, that shadowy Pokemon was captured? Your doing so means this irrational world will remain in existence. Does that make it impossible for me to create a new world? Even if I made new red chains, the new world can't be made. Why? What compels you to protect the two worlds? Is spirit, a vague and incomplete thing, so important to you? The places we are born, the time we spend living, the languages we speak, we are all different, but the presence of Pokemon unites us. We share our lives with Pokemon, and our happiness grows as we all become greater than we were alone. That is why we can battle and trade with anyone we choose. Silence! Enough of your blathering! That's how you justify spirit as something worthwhile? That is merely humans hoping, deluding themselves that they are happy and safe. The emotions roiling inside me, rage, hatred, frustration, these ugly emotions arise because of my own incomplete spirit. Enough. We will never see eye to eye. This I promise you. I will break the secrets of the world. With that knowledge I will create my complete and perfect world. One day you will waken up to a world of my creation. A world without spirit. So off Cyrus goes, never to be seen again. Since there is sadness, we can feel joy. When there is anger, compassion is born. Let's go back home. The portal where Giratina should lead us back to our world. Giratina was written in legend as being on the other side of our world. It stands to reason that it has a link to the other side. Actually, I'm second thinking you might be able to get the Grisius orb. You might be able to get it. I'm not sure. This place? It's the Send-Off Spring. It's said to somehow lead to the great beyond, and Giratina was said to live in a world on the opposite side of ours. Oh, I'm sincerely sorry. It's very rude of me. Sean, you're incredible. You really are a fantastic trainer. Let me say this on behalf of all of Sinnoh. Sean, thank you. Oh, that's right. You have to go tell Professor Rowan. He was very worried about you. You should go visit him in his lab. Just before I do anything, there is one thing that I absolutely must do before I do anything. I'm going to go to Jubilife City just because there are a few things I've missed. Mainly because when you go and take on one of the new Pokemon that you can find after this, you will want a Pokechap. That Pokechap is the marking map, which can be found here. I'm not sure how many gym badges you need, maybe it's 5? But anyway, hi, I'm the president of the Poketch Company. Hi, your patience is rewarded. I've developed a new Pokechap. This is the memo pad. The memo pad app can be used for jotting down quick notes. That's the memo pad. It's well what it is. I'm just going to keep talking to this guy. So there's the marking map. I assume it's after 3 badges. It's either 3 or 5, I can't remember. So anyway, he gives you a ton of apps. That one's used for searching for wireless people. And that tests up matchups, I think, yeah. So that's it. Gives you 4 apps and that's it. The other apps are gotten from people all around Sinnoh. Anyway, so as I was going to be doing, let's head to Sand Gem Town. Okay, so just before I do anything I will heal, just because, you know, I've got to really. Hello and welcome to the Pokemon Center. We restore your tired Pokemon to full health. Thank you. Please do that. So yeah, essentially the Cyrus fight is pretty hard, but Giratina's not too bad. If you've got Staraptor, it's a good Pokemon to use. But if you don't have Staraptor, pretty much any Steel type will do quite well. Sean, you've come back. You leave me speechless. You've done it. You have really done it. Never has my heart pounded this hard for so long in my 60 years of living. The professor did a lot of checking up after you left. He was really worried about you, Sean. He contacted acquaintance looking for help, and Sean, I'm glad to see you safe. Welcome back. Oh yes, there was something I had to tell you. The 3 Pokemon of the lakes appear to have returned to their homes. So tell me, how are things going for you? The Pokédex? A total of 170. And the number of badges? Well, you've got 7 already. That only leaves Sunny Shore's gym. You've come this far, why not obtain Sunny Shore's badge? And why not challenge the Pokemon League? That will broaden your horizons further than ever before. Not to mention the opportunities to meet even more Pokemon. So that's pretty much it. The main story of the game is now pretty much complete. We've obviously now just got the final gym and then heading up to the Pokemon League through the Victory Road. However, on the next episode I will be covering the 3 legendaries that have now, although actually 2 of them to be honest, because one of them is a roaming legendary which the marking map will be used for, and that's for Mesprit. However, I don't really want to catch Mesprit until after game because I don't generally catch roamings straight away. I tend to catch roamings in the after game when there are 4 more roamings open up. In Platinum at least. In Diamond and Pearl you have 1 more. But yeah, so on the next episode I think we'll be taking on 2 of the Lake Trio, Uxie and Azelf. But until then, see you next time, guys.